My name is Isaac Taylor. I'm the Technical Director in Facilities Operations for the Olympia Theater in downtown Miami. This system is definitely a very different audio system than anything I've ever seen before. Obviously, the first thing you notice is visually. Everybody that's walked in is either saying, why do you have TVs there, or is that even going to work? Everybody's worried, nobody's heard about it, but the first night we brought it in, started tuning up the room, and I completely said my mind was blown and I was happy to be proven wrong. I am still floored by how it sounds with the live sound coming out of it, a track, anything. Is definitely beyond anything I've seen on the market now. Everybody's probably 3 or 4 steps behind it. There's nowhere else anybody can come near this right now. Fundamental difference about this system is that zero chance of feedback. You'd really have to try, which I tested out myself. I put my face into one of the speakers and could not do it. I would deafen myself before I got feedback. Another one is my front row, which I constantly have complaints at any concerts, is not complaining that they are being punched in the face by anything. They're actually comfortable. And that's also anybody that's all the way in the back row. They've been comfortable with anywhere they sit in the house, which is something I have not been able to do in this house yet. For instance, for the show that we're working on, the way this system is different is we finally made the decision to just focus on my lower level, which I have 2 levels that I support with an array up in the air for my balcony areas and a ground stack for my orchestra level. With this system, we made the decision to ignore my balcony area because it's a television type of production, so we won't have as many people. And even then, the way the system is set up, I can be up in my farthest seat in the top balcony, and it sounds better than my PA currently has ever sounded. I was able to hear a lossless track of Hotel California, which apparently Chris really likes playing to suss out the room. And it has this scratch that happens, but it's very on the outside, very far left and right, and middle of the room, left side of the room, far right side of the room, you could still feel that it was coming way far from your left or very far from your right, but without being forced into that feeling that it's directed just at that point. It's kind of hard to explain, but that's how it works. So live audio in this house sounds amazing. Between the tracks that I heard when I first heard the system to the first sound check and starting to run into the show, I am more and more impressed. We made a point to tune the room to only cover my orchestra level because the amount of people that we're going to have is only going to be downstairs because it's a television production. But I've walked all the way up to my second balcony, and the sound is better than my current system could ever do. My system doesn't even come anywhere near it. Constantly shocked. There's no such thing as trying to force yourself to hear a certain part of the band. Everything is clear, very defined. If you're listening to a stereo track that I heard from Chris, our engineer that brought in the system, made a very clear point to show me a shaker that was in the track that was very far on the very far left and right, but no matter where in the room, it didn't sound forced, like they were pushing that right at you. And anywhere you walked, you heard it very far on your left, very far on your right, and it was amazing. I've never heard anything like it before. One of my favorite things about in this building, we have some concerts where our first couple rows of patrons, they complain because the way our system is currently set up, we really have to push it kind of hard to reach the back of the room, but those first couple rows are complaining because it's too loud. This, it doesn't matter where you're standing in the room. If you're in the front row, sounds great, not too loud, but you'd think in the back it'd be a little too low. Sounds about the same and just as good in the back. It's exactly what a venue like mine would need, and I'm actually looking forward to hearing it some more tonight.